Hi guys, Cody here with Inflatable Office and Event Office. I just wanted to show you how to set up a optional field that can invoke a fee. And a common example of this would be for potentially adding checkboxes to the quote form for the customer to choose to add a tip. Or another common one would be a damage waiver option on the quote form. So the customer would check a box that they want to apply a damage waiver, and then it would charge a fee. Often that fee is percentage based, but you can set it up to be dollar based if you want to. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to settings and then click on promotions and fees. And I'm already in there, but we'll go ahead and click back that again so I can show you how to do it. And then all of the promos and fees for this account will load. And currently there aren't any, but we can click add promotion. And then we will put a name on this. We'll just call this damage waiver. So we'll set up a damage waiver fee. And we do this in promotions and fees. So we have different types of promotions. We also have fees here. So we'll call this a fee of the type. We don't necessarily need a description in there. That's optional. And so what we need to do is set requirements on how this fee will be invoked. So that's what this requirements section is what's required in order to invoke this fee. Now, not everyone is going to have a damage waiver. So we're going to set up a fee that essentially will never apply, and then we'll set up an optional field to invoke it. So for this never to apply, I'm going to say 999,099, I don't know, a big number. Events. So this means that they would have to have this many events in order to get this fee. We're going to make it always valid through these dates. We're not going to exclude any delivery methods. Those normally would show right here if you wanted to exclude certain delivery methods. And we don't have the optional field set up yet. There are some optional fields in this account, but we're going to leave this blank and apply that after we create the optional field. So reward here, now it seems a little counterintuitive for the section to be labeled rewards for a fee, but essentially what we're doing is we're rewarding them with a fee. This is what happens when these requirements happen. And we'll just set this up as a 10% fee on the rentals. You could also do it as a fee on the total amount, which would include any fees, delivery fees and whatnot, or you could set it up as a flat dollar amount fee, or there's other things you could do with rentals, but for this purposes of this video, I won't go into that. Extra details, we will make it taxable, so we collect tax on that. We want it to automatically recalculate when it's percentage based, because if any of the totals change, we want that to update as well. And then if there's any other types of fees, we want this to also be in a type of promo that can go with it. So we can have more than one fee on the rental, or on the event, I should say. So we'll save and close this. And then we will go to optional fields and create our optional field that will invoke this fee, because like I said before, currently this fee will essentially never apply because no one's going to have that many events in your account under one person. So we're going to go to optional fields, and we're going to add a new optional field. And we can call this one damage waiver as well. And we are going to leave the default value as nothing. So we can leave that blank. You could have it so that the optional field is automatically checked, so the customer opts out rather than opting in. We're not going to set a default value for it. We are going to make sure our damage waiver applies when this applies. We're going to leave it as a checkbox so the customer can check a box, which happens on this. We do want this applying on the leads page, so that when you're looking at where this optional field is checked, it's on the lead itself. And we can put it in any section here. So I generally think it's probably smartest to put your fee type optional fields in the rentals section. So we're going to select rentals from there, and we will save and close this. And we should now have, if we go to a lead or an event, and I'll just click add new one so I can show it to you. And I put it in the rental section, so that's right here. And I believe it's a checkbox right here. Yeah, so it's showing up kind of in between all of the rental items and then their totals. So we could check this, and then it should suggest to us when we move out of that field to add the fee to it. Now we don't have anything selected, so it's not going to show, and I'm not going to fill that out. But I do want to show you how you can also add it to the customer quote form, so when they're filling it out, they can see it. So I'll close that and leave the page. The last step here would be to just go to settings and then pages/templates. And actually, you know, we don't need to go to pages/templates, but we are going to add it to our quote request or WordPress checkout page, depending on which one you have. So we do that actually back in optional fields. So we have to find our optional field here. Looks like we've created some other test ones here. Is this the one I created? Yeah, this is the one I created. And also you can see here there's a new field here. After we saved it, this field becomes available. So the quote form, there's the WordPress checkout page if you're using WordPress, and then there is the quote request form if you're not using WordPress. Those are two different forms that the customer checks out on. So we'll add it to the WordPress checkout page. We can click add here. And if we ever decide to, delete our WordPress account or something, we could also add it to this form. It's kind of a backup form in our case if we have WordPress. And now the customer quote form should have that option as well. So there'll be a checkbox on the customer quote form and then a checkbox on the leads page that will automatically invoke the damage rental fee, or damage waiver fee, I should say. Sorry about that. And then also you could set this up for other options. Another common example would be for tipping. So there would be a checkbox on the customer quote forms, then maybe the fee or the optional field would be called add 10% tip, and the customer could check that, and then that would add a 10% fee on there for collecting tips for your delivery drivers. And it's pretty common for people to have like 2 to 3 options, so 10%, 15%, 20%, something like that, or even lower amounts as well. There's really no standard, but that's what I see when I'm helping customers out getting these set up. And you would do that all the same way. You just add more than one optional field and more than one damage. Sorry, not damage waiver. Add more than one fee. All right, thanks guys. Hope this is helpful. We'll talk to you later.